Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Georgiana with Expressions Craft Studio, and this is the card we're going to be making today. This one was again inspired by Avee Renee. I will link her video in the comments below, and she calls it her arched column fold card. So I've done mine a little different. I have set it up in cricutdesignspace, and you can grab the link for that on the Facebook page, which is listed below in the comments. It did come out a little larger than I intended, but I will show you at the end of the video, if you stay tuned, how to resize it so that it'll fit a standard A2 size card. Otherwise, as is, I'm not even sure I can get it in a 5x7. I'll have to look. But yeah, I think it's pretty cute. So I've got a bunch of different supplies here from different people. The Hummingbird Stampin die was from Stampin' Up. I will list all of this stuff below, so if you're interested and you can find it, or maybe you have it. I don't know where this embossing folder came from. It's just a text stamp in the background. The green cardstock is Bazzill Spearmint stick. The yellow is from a color pad or a paper pad from Smart. Is that right? Craftsmart. It's several years old. The alcohol inks that I colored the Hummingbird with are from Alchilalart, and I got these off Amazon. The sending hugs I created in Designspace, and I think I've shared it before, but if I haven't and you can't find it and you want it, let me know and I will reshare it. And I think that's it. I did use Bazzill cardstock for the Hummingbird as well. It's the coconut swirl. So I think that's all of it. The sending hugs was a print and cut. So yeah, that's what we're making today. And like I said, you can grab the free file link, the file link for Cricut Designspace on my Facebook page. And let me know what you think. I kind of feel like I should have used another layer between these two. This is a foil cardstock, and it's a little bit thinner than I would normally like, but I mean, it looks nice, right? So let's get into it. Alright, so everything's cut out, the card base as well as the panels, and I'm going to just ink the panels up a little bit. Again, I'm just picking up stuff that was already on my desk. I could definitely go through my stash and find maybe a more striking combination of colors and patterns, but then I'd just have more stuff on my desk. You know what I mean? So it's kind of always a nice surprise to see what ends up coming out of the mix. So I'm just going to ink all these edges real quick. I will fast forward through this part. Alright, so everything's inked. Now I'm debating about putting some images, stamping some images on the background like Avee did, or just embossing them. And I can't decide. So I'm going to take a minute to think about that, and then I will be right back. Alright, so I've stamped it with just a text background. I have cut out my little Hummingbird that I still need to color in. This is an old Stampin' Up set, but plenty of people make them, so you can find them just about anywhere. So, even digital images, actually. So I'm going to go ahead and fold the card base. Got to get it up here in the light so I can see my score lines. I probably should rescore it from the back, but I'm not going to. So I think this is the second arch card I think I've done from Avee, and she has another one out, so I'll be recreating that one in Designspace as well. Just going to give these all a little burnish. Okay, so now it's going to go and fold back on itself like so, which is easier said than done. There we go. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue on this first flap here. I wonder, should I go ahead and glue? I bet I should go ahead and glue my pieces on now that I can kind of see my score lines better. Did I do those wrong? Maybe I got them out of order. There we go. Alright, so I'll glue those down first, just because I think that will be easier for me. And you know what? I'm going to hold that down and hold it down over here too. As best I can. Okay, so oops. Just go that way a smidge and down a smidge. Right. Now I haven't decided how what I'm going to cut the arch out of yet, since I was mostly just using scraps. If I were trying to match hers identically, I would have cut it out of the same paper as this background paper, which is Bazzill Spearmint stick. But I didn't want to get out another sheet for that. So I may use more of the yellow, or I may just leave it off entirely. I am undecided at this point. And I think I got those lined up pretty good. Okay. I'll flip this one over this way, and we'll line it up on this outer edge, top and bottom. Like that. I could come down a smidge and over a smidge. That looks pretty good. Alright, so now we're going to glue this right here to the back. And I've said this before, but I'll say it again in case anybody's new here. You don't have to use glue. You can use tape, whatever adhesive you have. I say pull from your stash. If you have it, use it, and save yourself some money and free up some space. Okay, I'm going to stand it up just to make sure I'm flush, and I am. Okay, I'm going to grab my longer bone folder and just kind of push it in there and help spread that glue out, help it get a nice adhesion. Now you could flatten it at this point if you want to. There you go. Okay, so there's your card front. Now this is where you put your arches on, and again, I may do it, you know what, maybe I have some I know I have some kind of goldish cardstock that might look really nice right there, and then the hummingbird through the arch with a little sentiment. That might be kind of nice. Okay, give me a second. I found this nice scrap of gold cardstock in my stash, and I think I will use this, and then I will maybe emboss it for a little extra pizzazz. Alright, we've got those cut out. I am going to glue them back to back. If I can get my glue to work. I feel like it needs a little more. Okay. To dry, and while that's drying we will pick out an embossing folder. Alright, let's see. Well, I don't want text. Got a couple of those. I don't want woven. Now this is a nice one. I don't know how well you can see it. Kind of a basket weave, like rattan maybe. That's a basket one. But I think I probably want something geometric, but not that. Not that. Something kind of small because the frame is kind of small. Let's see, I don't know if you can't really see these. Alright, let me pick one out and we'll be back. Alright, so I got my hummingbird cut out and colored. I normally go with pinks and blues and purples, but I didn't feel like that would necessarily go with this color scheme, so I went with yellows, oranges, and greens. I still need a sentiment for it, which I'll put down here, and I used alcohol markers to color in the hummingbird. Mine are Alchilalart. I got them off Amazon. I don't know. Here, I'll let you look. So I'd forgotten I'd made this little system a while back. It's so that I can track my colors that I use and see what combinations I like, and so because I wasn't sure about the alcohol markers, I just don't use them enough, I went ahead and put little swatches on here which don't look all that great, but the bird came out pretty, and then I just write on the back what I used, in this case alcohol markers, and the color numbers, which if you're interested are 38, 49, 48, 143, and 59. So there you go. I will finish it up with the sentiment. Now this card did finish up a little bit bigger than our standard A2 size. I really should measure these things before I cut them out, I guess. So when it's folded flat, it measures, let's see, from 8 to 13 3/4 is 5 3/4, and 8 to 13 1/2 is 5 1/2. So you might be able to use a 5x7 envelope. Maybe not. You might have to custom make your envelope, or what I would do, I would just shrink it, the design, in Designspace before you cut it. And you know what? Let's just go over and take a quick look at that, because we're pretty quick today. So hold on just a moment. Alright, here's our file in Designspace. It's called the Arched Column Fold, and it was inspired, which I spelled wrong. Let me fix that. should be 1R, INSP. Yeah, that looks right now. Okay, so let me save it. Anyway, it was inspired by Avee Renee, and there's her Facebook link. You'll have to copy and paste it into your browser because it's not a clickable link. So I would even make this arch a little smaller if it were me, but just to keep it proportionate, you know what first I'm going to do? I'm going to make a shape. I'm going to get a square, and I'm going to put it to the standard 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Oh, we got to unlock it. Alright, so then I'm going to put that to the back. There we go. And when it's folded over, it is from this line. Okay, so I'm going to pull this up over here. Yeah, you can see it's quite a bit bigger. So it's actually that first fold line. Let me fix that. That should be there. Okay, so not so much. So what we'll do is we'll select everything and then unselect that black square in the background that is my card base. And we will just, oh, it didn't do everything though, did it? Hang on. Let me do this again. Well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pull that out of the way. I'm going to select all that. I'm going to group it. And then I'm going to pull this back in here. And then we'll click on our group and we'll resize it. Let's see what that looks like. That's a little bit closer. So I'll just click that group. And let's do that again. We don't have very far to go, honestly. And that's probably close enough. Well, you could get it a little smaller still if you wanted to. And the other thing I felt like was the arches are a little bit big, but I don't know, maybe it just depends on where you glue it. So anyway, there you go. That's the file. I will share that on my Facebook page. You can grab the link there if you want the freebie. And that's just for the card base. You know, use your own supplies. Let's see here. Yeah, so when it's standing up, it's positioned pretty well. Although even then, it kind of, when you get it perfectly straight, the arch doesn't come all the way over. There you go. You can kind of see that. But if you put it over any further, then it sticks out well beyond the edge of the card. So you might want to play with that a little bit till you're happy with it. Yeah, I don't have a good idea for that just yet, but roughly when it stands up, it'll be something like that with a nice sentiment underneath. I don't know yet what it'll say, but I probably will. I was going to pop that up, but you know what? Because of the way it will fold, I probably won't pop it up. I don't know. Probably not. Probably just glue that flat. Anyway, guys, if you have any questions, let me know. If you like this video, I appreciate you giving it a thumbs up and subscribing if you haven't already. With that said, thank you to all of my subscribers. We're growing a little bit every day, guys, and thank you so much. And until next time, I hope you have a happy, crafty day.